Welcome to GamesBeat Rewind. This week we'll be going over the best games of the year through a variety of categories. Today, it's the non-awards. This is GamesBeat's chance to talk about the games and the things that happened that don't necessarily fit into other categories. Joining us today is myself, Jeffrey Grubb, GamesBeat Managing Editor, Jason Wilson, GamesBeat's Reviews Editor, Mike Minotti, GamesBeat Writer and Reporter, Stephanie Chan, and GamesBeat's PC Gaming Guest Post Editor, Rowan Kaiser. We're going to be with you all week, so be sure to check in every day for a new podcast and check GamesBeat.com for write-ups and more looking back at 2017. Hey you, yeah, you, the one trying to make a video game. I've got someone here that can help you, and that someone is Intel, which is not a someone, it's a company. But this company, they are going to help you as if they were a somebody and a someone and also a something. Check out software.intel.com/gamedev to find out how Intel is making sure all the innovation in gaming continues to happen on the PC as part of the Intel Game Dev program. Again, that URL is software.intel.com/gamedev. Sign up and start something new. If you have, I don't remember it.
Oh, I have. No, I haven't done one yet because you ignore me.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't sure. I can't remember if you do. If you don't, you're very forgettable. So I'll give you a chance right now.
Fair
Mike.
enough.
Go for it.
All right, here we go. My favorite, maybe DLC, maybe sequel. I don't know what it is of the year was Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which was, I'm a big Uncharted fan. I really like those games, and The Lost Legacy was really fun. It did a good job of kind of like mixing things up just the right amount where it was still Uncharted, but you had the different characters. You had Chloe and Nadine, these two kind of females kind of going at it together as opposed to Nathan Drake. And you also had like this one section of the game that was like testing out more of an open world design with the Uncharted formula, and that kind of worked out cool. Again, just because it was a little bit different and fresh. And it really was surprising just how big the game was. I mean, it wasn't quite the size of a full Uncharted game, but it wasn't that far off either. But it is weird because like it's weird status of not really being a sequel. Plus, like that whole thing where Uncharted 4 had all this closure, so it's like you play it and you're like, yes, Uncharted's done, but that's okay. It went on top, and it's like, oh wait, no, there's still a little bit more right here. And you like it, but there is something strange about it in a way.
I think that's strange. I felt that strangeness from fans who were like not sure whether or not to be excited for the game. And Sony tried to build it up like, hey, we got a new Uncharted this holiday. That's what's coming out. And then people would turn around immediately and be like, Sony has no games coming out this holiday.
Right, yeah, that's its whole status was kind of, and it was great. That's the weird thing. There's definitely nothing wrong with the game. It was super good, but it did seem to get like a little. I think because their plans for it were less ambitious at first, right? Like, if you got the season pass, which I forget how much it cost, but it was less than what the Lost Legacy ended up costing. It was, you got yourself a deal. Like, this was supposed to kind of just be fun little DLC for it and kind of, like, just sort of spun into a more standalone, bigger thing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of other examples of something like that, I think. And I wonder if that
Wolfenstein maybe, but even that the Old Blood, I guess there's some things like that. It is always weird when you have these the idea of standalone expansion is funny because a standalone expansion is just a game,
right? Exactly. I wonder if that's going to just go away. I wonder if they'll try to do something more like, because it really is just semantics at that point, because Far Cry, Blood Dragon or whatever.
Blood Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, that was exactly the same thing, right? But they
Dishonored 2, Death of the Outsider.
Right, and they call that one a standalone expansion, though, right? I can't remember, right? Yeah. So it's like, sometimes they call it that, sometimes they don't, and I wonder if, like, if they see more of a return on investment or something, if they call it a standalone expansion, or if they just actually push it out as something like Far Cry Blood Dragon. We're like, oh, no, this is just like its own thing.
Well, it might also be that this is how companies are like reusing their engines instead of trying to make every new game the biggest, baddest new thing, which has done some pretty serious damage to basically the idea of, games being a short, little, easily consumable thing. So if companies might be doing this more as a way to get more bang out of all the tech work that they have put into these engines.
I think that's absolutely right. Making games is so expensive that you can't just make that one $60 sale. You got to find a way to get a little bit more out of it. And this seems to be a thing that people respond really well to. I think most fans of these games come away saying, "Oh, I want more. Maybe story DLC. Maybe I don't know." But if you kind of make it a standalone thing where anyone could jump into the small thing, I don't know. To me, it makes it feel more important. Which is I don't get why Uncharted actually didn't attract as much attention.
I mean, it's hard. I think it's still so. It's hard to see that by numbers. I don't know. I think it was successful, but just it seems like in terms of buzz,
that's what I mean. Yeah,
it kind of came and went. But yeah, it's hard to say.